around here. There's a bunch of crooks around here. You ain't supposed to be in that jail, boy. Get out of there, man. No, that's supposed to know, man. I come in.
Is my salary going up?
The Bahamian people got to wake up.
This is my 5 cents, and I approve this message.
Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned into MB12 Weekend, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, the Christian Council president confident the drafted amendments to the gaming bill won't be passed as is. Bahamians are split on their views on decriminalizing marijuana. Some of those disgruntled Ministry of Works employees who recently protested to soon get their wishes, plus those Bahamian rock iguanas to return to the Bahamas after being smuggled all the way to the other side of the world. I'm Paige McCartney, and we've got those stories and more straight ahead on MB12 Weekend. Welcome once again to MB12. As the Christie administration confirmed a delay in the tabling of the amended gaming bill, the president of the Bahamas Christian Council has predicted web shops will not accept the bill in its current form and added no one will get what they want. Reverend Ranford Patterson told MB12 it's clear the government did not do its homework before announcing the regulation and insisted the projected $12 million in web shop taxes is crazy. Bonnie Toot has the story.
As government prepares to table the amended gaming bill in the House of Assembly later this month, President of the Bahamas Christian Council, Reverend Ranford Patterson, says he does not think the Christie administration's efforts to regularize the web shop industry will be successful as it thinks. He says based on the confusion he's seen in recent months, web shops won't walk away happy.
Everything that they expect to do, I can guarantee you, is not going to happen.
What do you mean?
I mean that everything that they promised that they were going to give the web shop is not going to be possible.
You think it's going to fail?
It's not going to be the way the web shop fellas wants it.
He says he does not think Numbers bosses will accept the amended bill, which states that web shops would be permitted to legally engage in cash betting transactions with domestic players only.
They're not going to appreciate it. They're not going to accept it. And I think the government have to go back to the drawing board to try to appease them. And I don't think there's anything that they can do at this time to give everybody what they want. For example, when we look at the web shops are casinos, right? How can we have these two parallel casinos running in the Bahamas? I just couldn't see it happening.
FML Group of Companies boss Craig Flowers recently praised the government for moving forward with the gaming bill, but the Christian Council president says he may be singing a different tune later this month. Patterson also raised questions about $12 million in taxes government expects to collect from web shops in a post-regulated environment.
It's crazy. It's crazy because we were told $40 million. That was what we were told going into the referendum, $40 million, and they were excited about the fact they're going to do so much with this $40 million, and then now we hit $12 million. $12 million can't even fix a parking lot, and we're going to go through all of this for $12 million. Just to me, just doesn't make sense.
Prime Minister Perry Christie initially said parliamentarians would debate amendments to the gaming bill after the budget debate wrapped up, but later hinted at a possible delay. Minister responsible for gaming, Obi Wilchcombe, has since confirmed that government will likely table the amended gaming bill by the end of this month. Patterson says this doesn't surprise him.
I'm not surprised because I'm convinced that somebody didn't do their homework, because all of the stuff that's coming up now, it seems as if they weren't aware of it. The government wasn't aware of it. And those who were, I guess, advising the government wasn't aware of all of these issues that now show their faces, or their ugly faces.
Patterson says the government hasn't heard the last of the Bahamas Christian Council on this gaming issue, hinting that the church has something major planned.
We're working, and I can guarantee you It's only a matter of time. We just wait to see what the bill is and what is a part of it, and then we can then say what we have to do. But like I said, we left. It's all in God's hand. Whatever God does with it, we know it's going to be the right thing.
During the January 2013 gambling referendum, voters overwhelmingly rejected the regulation and taxation of web shops, as well as the establishment of a national lottery. However, less than half of the electorate voted. However, Patterson says that shouldn't matter, noting if Bahamians were in favor of web shops, they would have showed up at the polls and supported them. Reporting for NB12 Weekend, I'm Ronique Toot.
Well, Dame Marguerite Pinling will be sworn in as Governor General of the Bahamas at noon next Tuesday. It will come 2 hours after outgoing Governor General Sir Arthur Folkes does a final inspection of the Guard of Honor at Government House. The announcement of Dame Marguerite's appointment had long been anticipated. She has served multiple times as Deputy to the Governor General. 82-year-old Dame Marguerite was born to Reuben and Viola McKinsey in the settlement of Long Bay Keys, South Andros on June 26, 1932. As noted by the Bahamas Historical Society, she often describes herself as just a barefoot girl from Andros. Dame Marguerite was honored by Queen Elizabeth in 2007, being named a Dame Commander of the Most Distinguished Order of St. Michael and St. George. She will be sworn in 2 days before the 41st anniversary of the Bahamian independence. Well, the results of a scientific market research poll on marijuana are out, and they just might surprise you. While government has said recently that it has no immediate plans to decriminalize marijuana in the Bahamas, the question was posed to a pool of Bahamians selected to participate in the research poll by public domain. Company President Mwale Ramming said a random group of people were asked if they agree with the decriminalization of marijuana. Ramming said, as expected, 50% of those polled disagreed, while about 50% agreed. However, men and women and younger and older people were split on the issue.
50% of men agree. Almost 50% of women strongly disagree. And 50% of young people, 18 to 34, agree. And 60% of people 55 plus disagree. Yeah.
Ramming said what he found interesting is that a demographic that he believed would have been in favor of the decriminalization of marijuana, that's those participants who make less than $20,000 a year, was the largest group against it.
It gets different because we would have thought younger males, lower income, are more likely to use. So I was actually speaking to my partner today because the numbers tell a story, but sometimes the story is incomplete. I would not have thought that that would be the case with the lower income households. Right. A hypothesis that we have, and it's only a hypothesis, is maybe some of these lower income households are older families who have children who are using marijuana now and are saying, no, I don't want this to be decriminalized because I don't like the levels that I'm seeing now. Or maybe they're looking around their communities and seeing a high level of use and worry that decriminalization would lead to more.
Well, at the CARICOM meeting in Antigua this week, the issue of decriminalizing marijuana in the region was again discussed. A Caribbean trade bloc has created a commission to study whether the region's roughly 15 million people should be allowed to use medical marijuana and how courts should handle possession of small amounts of the drug. CARICOM leaders said late Wednesday that the commission is expected to submit reports by CARICOM's next summit scheduled for February 2016. A recent preliminary report from CARICOM found that decriminalizing medical marijuana could help boost the region's economy. In other news, just 6 months after opening its doors, the Bahamian cigarette manufacturer says it was forced to let go of 4 employees last week and warns more layoffs could be on the horizon as a result of a new tax. The recent excise tax increased the tax per pack of cigarettes to $3.25. Bahama Cigarette and Tobacco Company must also pay an additional fee for customs agents to oversee the application of excise stamps. Chairman John Wilson says increased taxes and government's failure to deliver on certain incentives has resulted in significant financial challenges.
We recently had to release about 3 to 4 employees. This was within the last week, 2 weeks, and it is very likely that unless we get some resolution, we will have to let several more employees go.
Wilson says it's a disincentive to tax local manufacturers in the same fashion as foreign importers, whom he says are already at an advantage. He told MB12 they had hoped to have 60 Bahamians on the payroll by now, but the government has put a stronghold on the company.
We anticipated that we would be up to about 60 full-time employees, right, around this time. At the moment, we have 25. We were up to 28, but like I said, we had to release three persons within the last couple of weeks. And indirectly, we employ another 8 Bahamians. We have one line that we've not yet been able to activate, one manufacturing line that we've not yet been able to activate. And we have another 15 Bahamians on hold who are being employed to run that line.
And President of the company, Lionel Harris, says they have formally reached out to the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance expressing concern, but they've received no response. He says something must change soon because they cannot continue to operate under these conditions.
It would be very difficult to operate under these conditions. I'm hoping that we get some sort of result sooner than later, because you know, it's a stranglehold on us in moving forward and some of the things that we want to do. We need to bring on more staffing. We need to, you know, fully staff our operations to get it moving forward.
Bahama Cigarette and Tobacco Company produces Seneca, DKs, and Putters brand cigarettes at the old Bacardi plant in association with Canadian manufacturer Grand River Enterprises.